2021, Sean Sandberg, also known as Theme Park Worldwide, made some predictions about what he'd like to see come to Thorpe Park in the next few years. It's been almost 3 years since he made that video, and today I'll be reacting to see whether he got them completely spot on, or whether none of them have actually come true. Now, if you do want to enjoy this video and want to see more videos just like this, then please do be sure to subscribe to the channel to miss any more videos. Now, I think it's time to get into the reacting.
Talking about the IPs, what they've got at Thorpe Park. Now,
they get kind of, IPs, definitely, probably something that Thorpe Park definitely needs to improve on the most, but yeah, I would say that they've definitely got rid of a few. On the screen you can see Angry Birds Land, but
IPs are of course brands that Thorpe Park have brought in, things like Darren Brown's Ghost. Changes to some of these in the 2014, and King Pigs is a really good fun little.
Yeah, I like how they're kind of like making it so you have like the Amity, and then it's kind of like, I like how Big Easy Boulevard is going to be kind of like a transition area with the with Tidal Wave, and then you can like transition into Stealth, which is like the Speedway, and then the Cove.
Right, what they put in, nice. Yeah, and I do enjoy that. But what in the Amity, it's like a follow-up of Amity. You can walk all the way around landed in 2014. It kind of split with that, but I can definitely see now. Of course, this attraction.
Right. So, Darren Brown's Ghost Train is probably. It did get that right as well, to be fair, because obviously we now have Ghost Train, which opened in 2023 May. So I think they definitely, it was a good idea getting rid of the VR. But then I also think that Darren Brown's Ghost Train was also a bit. It was a bit of a different experience, whereas like Ghost Train is kind of like in line with like more of the other dark rides that now exist in the world, with just like the walkthrough and the like real life actors, whereas Darren Brown's Ghost Train is kind of a different experience, like the VR and the like virtual concept.
Opened back in 2016, and when it opened, it was a very first.
So if we skip forward a bit, we.
The game with the came in about Saw the Ride. Now, 2009, this Gerstlauer Eurofighter opened at Thorpe.
Yeah, Saw is a great ride. It can be very, very rough at times, but then again, you also have the aspect of. It's a lot of the theming. The theming's also great, and then like I also like the theming, and the theming, and then like the storyline with the like traps that affect, and the effects are quite good. It's probably one of the best themed coasters at Thorpe Park. But yeah, it's a nice ride. Apart from the indoor bit's good, but then the outside can kind of get a bit rough at times. So. Yeah,
so you've got to think the IP's been around for a long time.
Oh yeah, the IP. I don't think it's going to run out anytime soon, but yeah, if it does run out, then I don't know what they would replace it with, because it's kind of like themed into Saw itself, because like of the indoor bit, and then like Billy on the like the pre-show.
However, yeah, how long has it got left? That's what you've got to think. I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. It was probably like 20 years or something, so I have to see.
Originally, it would have been on a 10-year license, and then it's been sort of on a rolling license now, I think, sort of every year, they sort of roll it on and pay those fees. So it'd be interesting to see, but I can potentially see in the next few years them getting rid of the Saw theme.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know, it's quite likely that it will be around for a bit
around something else, or keeping more of a horror theme, but doing something internal for Thorpe Park. I think, people... And these
so if we skip forward,
resort few years, things that is some more on-site accommodation.
I agree.
Thorpe Park Resort.
You do not have cabins, Thorpe Park cabins. Hotel is not some shipping containers.
Is what they've been rebranded as for a good few years now. However, you've got to think of the other resorts, what Mervyn owned. Legoland, Alton Towers.
Alton Towers is the best theme park in the UK accommodation by an absolute country mile.
Chessington World of Adventures. Yeah, in my opinion,
Legoland has 2 hotels with lodges coming soon next year. Chessington has 2 hotels with glamping as well. A lot of people sleep on glamping, but It's actually quite. I haven't done it, but yeah, it seems quite cool. It's kind of slept on a bit, I think.
They are true resorts. They all offer multiple sets of accommodation.
I agree.
Lots of different facilities that make it a resort.
By the way, the full video, the original video for Sean, Theme Park Worldwide will be linked below if you wanted to check it out, without me rambling on a bit.
Is a theme park with a slight bit of accommodation on the side. And when I say a slight bit of accommodation, I just don't class cabins, shipping containers as a resort. It just isn't for me. And I think the fact that they call it Thorpe Park Resort still a bit too premature in my opinion.
Yeah, Thorpe Park. Thorpe Park sounds better because, like, you know, you have like Thorpe Park. Like a lot of people just call it Thorpe. I mean, obviously you don't call Alton Towers Resort, but like it's kind of like the context of the name. Like just slapping some shipping containers on a bit of the island, you can't really say, right, here's a 7-day holiday for you. You know what I mean?
However, I do think we'll finally see a hotel built at Thorpe Park. I think.
Why has he got his headphones on like that?
I think that you know, Merlin will definitely do that in the next few years.
Yes.
Thorpe Park could have a brilliant.
There were plans actually for a massive hotel, like on the looking out over the lake. That never. Hopefully they do something similar to that in the next few years. But yeah. Just anything at this
atmosphere with a hotel. Can you imagine if it was built sort of looking out over the park? They can have like a rooftop bar, maybe looking out over the skyline. Of course, stealth lit up at night, the Swarm. If it was built over where they were originally planning it. There's been a few plans now for a hotel, a proper hotel, not shipping containers, at Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will happen.
I mean,
I can see it in the next few years.
It looks
one of my favourite plans was like a boat, what would actually take you from the hotel.
I like that. I think Disney does something similar to that, but yeah, that would be
over to the park. But I can see something like that happening in the next few years, especially with staycations and people.
Yeah. Okay. So next up we have.
Now this was a flat
Slammer. Oh, now Slammer is an eyesore with Hyperia coming in. Slammer is going to look absolutely horrid. It's literally just like there to haunt everyone about like how good it. I mean, it looked quite rough. So. But yeah, it looked like a fun flat ride, but yeah, it's just kind of like rotting away. I mean, it is technically the last Sky Swat to ever exist, so yeah, maybe they can. I don't. It's not likely they're going to bring it back because like they have Black Mirror there and stuff. It's taking up the queue line, so yeah, it's not going to come back, but it needs to be moved sometime.
S&S Sky Swat, brilliant ride, located kind of parts anyway, because they're just not removed it yet, and you know, I really hope
it's so weird how they just like kept it standing for so long. Because if you think about it,
the ride,
like, it's been sat there for almost 7 years, and like I don't know, they could easily utilise that space.
It does get removed, just so we don't have to keep looking at it when we go and wishing it was still open and reminiscing on the good times. But I can see that going and possibly being replaced with another flat ride at some point in the future. What sort of flat ride could go into that space? Well, it's a pretty big area. I would like to see maybe an Intamin gyro swing on there.
I mean, that would be quite similar to Vortex, but then again, like it's a new generation because Vortex opened in 2001, whereas like this.
Wouldn't put it past Thorpe Park to maybe do something like that.
Yeah.
Their investments only come in at a few £1 million rather than tens of £1 million that a roller coaster would. So it could potentially be a great time for them to put in a new flat ride there to replace the Slammer. We know that Merlin didn't really like putting in new flat rides. However, for this year, Chessington World of Adventures, they've had a new drop.
You couldn't say that about Alton Towers with their situation, although at least they're getting rid of the retro squads, hopefully put some more new in. I mean, obviously you didn't know at the time that Alton Towers are going to strip our Enterprise.
Tower, they've had a new pirate ship, you know, so we're starting to see them caring a bit more for flat rides. So fingers crossed that's going to be the case for Thorpe Park. We might see a Slammer replacement on there.
Hopefully.
Now finally, on my predictions, things that I think are going to happen is, of course, a new roller coaster. Now, the last new coaster to be built at Thorpe.
Whoa. He predicted the future, guys. No. I mean, like, it was quite obvious that they were going to get something new because obviously
was the Swarm,
the
B&M Wing Coaster that opened in 2012. Now, you've got to think 2012 is a long time ago now. We're in 2021. It's not going to be far until it's 10 years since a new coaster. The park really do need something big to draw the crowds back. However, it's going to be interesting.
I wonder what that could be.
to see what they put in, because I don't think they're going to go down the RMC route, which a lot of people would have been saying they would like. I'll say it's not really something that I think would fit at Thorpe Park. I would rather them stay away from that. However, I could possibly see them after
Swarm, some like hyper RMC. That would be absolutely amazing.
The success of Wicker Man at Alton Towers with a GCI wooden coaster, probably larger than Wicker Man, maybe along the lines of Woden at Europa Park, Troy at Toverland, something a bit like that possibly. But I can maybe see them with this coaster being more down the family route. You've got to think Wicker Man is a family ride. It's a
I don't think 236 foot with 80 miles an hour is a family coaster. I mean, like if you suddenly had the massive growth spurt, then maybe. But
1.2 height restriction, so I can see them actually doing something along a family route. If not something like Wicker Man, a GCI, maybe a Vekoma flying coaster, something a bit like Fly, that's just owned at Phantasialand. Cool. Again, I would class that more as a family ride than a thrill ride, and the height restriction reflects on that too. Possibly a Bermuda Blitz from Vekoma, something a little bit like Let Coaster, or maybe an Intamin Ultra Coaster as well. Could be good there, packed with airtime. So something along those lines that could maybe, it still satisfies the thrill seekers, but would also attract more families to the park, because we all
don't think they're doing that with Hyperia. Yeah, I don't think that was Thorpe Park's intention when they planned the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. I can't lie.
I know that Thorpe Park kind of regrets taking out some of the family rides over the years, and they just shouldn't have.
Storm Surge was the worst investment ever. Like, they took out like 5 or 10. They took out almost 10 flat rides. They took out like 10 kids rides for Storm Surge. Like, what the balance is a bit like not there, if you get what I mean.
Done it, in my opinion. When they put Storm Surge in, they replaced quite a lot of family rides there, and I think that was the worst decision they could have made, because you can't just have a thrill park. You've got to look at some of these other parks.
Some of my friends just go, "Oh yeah, you can have a thrill park. Oh yeah, it's fine, doesn't matter." And then other people are like, "No, but like, what if families need to come with like their older brother and then their younger brother, and then people just say, well, they can go to Chesington down the road." I mean, it's like
parks in the world that, yes, you immediately think thrill, but they still offer so much for families. One of those being Cedar Point in Ohio in the States. Big thrill park, but there's so many family rides there. There really is. There's loads. Along with that, Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. Yes, it's a thrill park, but you know what? There's still loads of family rides, and that's what Thorpe Park have got wrong. And they know that, because they've been putting in like the Rocking Tug and the little drop tower, what they put in over in Old Town a few years ago.
Don't know about that one, Sean. I think they removed them again. So what do they have now? They have Flying Fish, Depth Charge, the Dodgems. Okay, right. Flying Fish, Depth Charge, Dodgems, the playground, if that counts as a ride. Oh god. I mean, Storm Surge, then Rumble Rapids, and that's basically it.
Old rides that got relocated to there, but they know they messed up taking out some of them family rides. So maybe we could see a coaster that would satisfy thrill seekers and families. But they're my predictions anyway. In terms of when this coaster is going to get built, you know, maybe in the next 2-3 years. I'd like to see this happen sooner rather than later. I think we will see a coaster. It's got to happen, but I wouldn't go expecting a major thrill coaster. And I think if Thorpe Park, you know what?
I mean, I think people did expect that, and they got it.
To be more sensible, I think putting in something for families and thrill seekers would be the best option. Right then, onto the fun bit, onto the wish list now, that I would love to see at Thorpe Park. If I was in charge there, these are the things that I would definitely put into play. So, starting off then with a complete overhaul of the brand for Thorpe Park. Now, over the past...
How did he know this? This was so unexpected, and he's just like... Yeah, new logo, new soundtrack. How did he know this? It was actually because no one expected Thorpe Park to get a new logo, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, rebrand? Like, how do you manage to do that?
Past few years, it seems like they've lost the way in terms of marketing there, and they just don't really know what is Thorpe Park. Is it a thrill park? Is it a family park? A few years ago, they were doing crazy cartoons about like the toilet blocks and that sort of thing that just didn't work. I'm glad that's gone. However, I really feel like they need to have a
what was
that just didn't work. About like the toilet block family park. A few years ago, they were
doing the toilet
crazy cartoons about like the toilet blocks and that sort of thing that just didn't work. I'm glad that's gone. However, I really feel like they need to have a complete change of marketing. The marketing team completely freshen everything up to really change the vibe at Thorpe Park. Possibly reinvent the logo instead of just changing it a little bit. Completely.
Where did this come from then?
Reinvent the logo.
Inside sources.
To coincide with that would be a complete refurbishment of the main entrance.
Oh my gosh, that would be actually the best thing ever. The entrance makes me want to like throw something at it. Like, it's so, the cattle pen queue, the temporary queue line is just horrible. Like, so as you can see, I mean, I don't think you can see my mouse, but like, you have the entrance here, like you have the main entrance there, and then like they have the ticket booths used to be like the security places used to be like ticket booths, so that it's like there was like a lot of stuff just feels so makeshift, like the security things and like the temporary table just needs
absolutely appalling in my opinion. And of course they've had to put in new security measures there, which I completely understand. That is fine. All the parks have had to do it, but there's a way that it could have been done in a better way to look, in my opinion. What they did, if you've not been, is they completely closed off the entrance plaza. They've put a green fence all the way around, like a Harris fence around the entrance. They changed the ticket booths into a security search area, but it just looks awful. Now, I'm all for having the security there. It is needed at these theme parks. Safety is paramount. However, there's a way.
I literally, when I went last time, there was literally there were so many. There were like when we were leaving, there was like a fight between like some like roadman and a security guard.
Need to do it. Look at how Disney have got their entrance set up. Universal, these parks, it's such a sleek security check area, and that's what Thorpe Park needs. If it was me, I'd demolish the whole entrance. I also really don't like the screen that's there at the main entrance. I know a lot of
low quality. It's like so pointless.
People probably do, but for me, I actually preferred the entrance without the big screen. A nice big Thorpe Park sign, but I would completely refurbish all of that building, the toilet block, which is just made out of like normal household bricks. I'm going to a theme park. I want to see theming. I want to see something that I don't get in the real world, not a house that looks like it's down my street sort of thing. Along with that, I'd also redo the whole entrance bridge and the dome and make more of it. I'd keep the dome, but I'd completely change the inside it, completely strip it out. I know they did a refurbishment for last year. I say refurbishment because it wasn't anything spectacular. It was more a bit of paint and change.
Their biannual changing of the Dome restaurant needs to happen soon, because like you have the Finn's Bar and Grill, then you have the Infinity Bar, then you have the Vibes Bar and Kitchen. Soon it's going to change to like Hyperia Bar, I don't know. But
changing some branding, but a complete overhaul. I mean, strip the lot out and have it all freshened up. Maybe a stage or something in the middle, welcoming people in to Thorpe Park, or the all-new Thorpe Park. That's what I'd kind of go with. A complete rebrand. Maybe even put that on the adverts. The new Thorpe Park. Really make people realise that the park's changed and there's something there for everyone.
It's got year for like you have Hyperia, Big Easy Boulevard, and the logo. All three in 1 year. This is Thorpe Park 2024. Here we go. Okay, right.
Stuff for thrill seekers. It's got stuff for families. It's got stuff for the kids. Something there for everyone, the whole family to enjoy. That's what I'd like. Now, moving on then to a coaster that I would love to see at Thorpe Park. And I've already sort of spoke a little bit about this earlier when I was talking about what I think they might get. But I don't think that an RMC would fix Thorpe Park's problems. I don't particularly want to see an RMC. If one opened there, I certainly wouldn't be complaining and I'd be there to go and enjoy it. But I don't think that is what the park needs. For me, I think they'd be better going along the lines of a nice classic, reliable and high throughput B&M hypercoaster.
It was half right, but he was right about the hyper part, just not right about the manufacturer.
Would be nice. A hypercoaster, something a bit like Mako at SeaWorld in Orlando. You got to think that's.
Oh,
Do you want to know how to find cheap flights on Kayak? Head to Kayak, add your origin and your destination.
Only 200, so it doesn't have to be 250, 260. About 200 would be perfect. Maybe a tiny bit over Stealth if they could potentially get permission for it, but with them being close to Heathrow, you've got to think all that comes into it. But something like that would be great. For me, I'd have the station over kind of behind Saw the Ride, all over where Old Town is, and then
Sorry? How do you know this? Okay, right.
Take the lift up round the back.
It's quite predictable because like you have there's only like two places you can put in 2021 you could put in Old Town or like the Island Behind the Swarm, and like I guess the Island Behind the Swarm wasn't really practical.
Of Nemesis Inferno, the drop somewhere there, big turnaround section sort of behind the Swarm and Stealth, and then
Not
back
really.
over again. Big hyper coaster, I think would be brilliant. I just want to say the reason why I don't think an RMC will work is I still think they're a pretty new company, and I'd like to see Thorpe Park put something in that's very reliable. A B&M coaster is very reliable. Hyper coasters are fantastic. They offer so much airtime. We haven't got much airtime in the UK, so I think that would be brilliant as a great investment for them. But no, B&M Hyper for me all the way if I could decide what was going to be in there in terms of a new coaster. Now, I would also go with a brand new family area. I've spoken a bit about my thoughts on the brand for Thorpe Park and what they need to do.
Big Boulevard is a family area, but it's definitely a good wreath.
An appeal more for the families as well, and that's what they need to do with a new area in my opinion. The beach, when you first walk out of the dome, could be gorgeous. What I would do there is open up some pathways kind of straight out of the dome as part of the whole change of the arrival experience, and put in some new family flat rides off to the side. I'm talking things like a new carousel, maybe relocate Mr. Monkey's banana ride, possibly a small junior coaster down there as
the Mr. Monkey's banana ride is a bit outdated now because like they used to be like Ranger County with like the hippo safari and like the thing that looks like there was like a monkey swinger type. No, it was a carousel. There was a carousel. Then it was banana ride, and then you have the safari. Now both of them have left, and it's just kind of left monkey ride to just be there as
well, or incorporate flying fish into that because it's only off to the side. That's what I'm talking, those sort of rides, maybe 3 or 4 family rides, possibly a little boat ride, something a bit like Dora's World Voyage at Pleasure Beach. Them sort of rides right near the entrance to really sort of set the tone and have it as a nice sort of beach vibe. Maybe have like a little cocktail bar there along the side. Really sort of, again, stuff for the children to enjoy and the families, but also think of that thrill market as well. And imagine a highly themed sort of cocktail bar down there on the beach, and obviously changing it all with some rides on there. I think it could be gorgeous in my opinion. I'd then go on to kind of a general clean up because Thorpe Park in some areas, I'll say it straight as it is quite dirty. Look at Colossus. I thought they were really going to repaint that a couple of years ago. Not being done
over to date. This year's winter period, but it's only like a few sections.
Unfortunately, but they started some bits and looked like they didn't finish it. I imagine due to the cost, but I would love to see them completely repaint that. Cleaning up general areas around the park, things like down by Nemesis Inferno, the rock work, just completely jet washing it, cleaning it up. Stuff what should be done every winter at these parks really, but unfortunately it just doesn't seem to get done at quite a lot of them, and Alton Towers is the same in some areas. It really needs a good clean up, but Thorpe Park in particular, there's some areas that really just need the general clean up for me.
Totally.
And then the final sort of thing
I guess thrill seekers don't really care about presentation, but then again, like, you want to make it look nice at least.
Is connect up the Stealth Plaza with Swarm Island. So I would literally build a path like I think was originally planned actually, just to connect under Stealth's launch and down with the Swarm, and that could then lead out.
So that's for Sunken Gardens, and then it's gonna. I mean, that would be cool to be fair.
to get some great views of that new B&M Hyper that I would put in, and then you could kind of expand out that way. You get the hotel over this side. It could be fantastic, couldn't it? Like, you know, I'd love to see that. But, you know, they're my general thoughts. In terms of would I remove any attractions, the one that I'd probably take out would be Storm Surge, mainly because I think it's a bit of an eyesore when you walk in. I'd be wanting to try and change up the overall sort of arrival experience. Imagine, you know, you walk in across the bridge after a lovely new entrance, you come through the dome that's very modern, you walk through a big family area with a beach vibe, and then you sort of flow out into the rest of the park. And I think Storm Surge would have to be removed for that to really happen, how I'm visioning it in my head. But there you go, they're my thoughts. The future of Thorpe.
That was actually quite good, to be fair. I liked how he explained every point in detail and didn't just go like this. I like how he explained everything in detail. But yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. He got pretty much most of them right, to be fair. I mean, he definitely were off on some, like the B&M Hyper going like all the way around the park is not particularly all done, but he got the hyper bit right. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll hopefully do more videos like this, so subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.